Hey guys, it's about 9:30, 5:21, 65 degrees, 60 outside. Just opened the doors. Anyway, gonna get started on this again today. Like I said in the last video, I'm gonna start ripping this quarter panel off, and so I won't take you through all of that, but once I get it ripped off and everything, I'll show you what kind of fun stuff we have underneath and kind of just update as I get going. But yeah, anyway, thought I'd check in with you guys this morning. Just made another video for Call of George shout out, so check him out if you guys get a chance. And so yeah, I'm gonna flip this car around the other way so I have my lights in the wall so I can see what I'm doing. And these lights in the wall is one of the better things I've done in this shop, I think. It really helps out. But anyway, yeah, I'll spin it around and start ripping that panel off there. So alright guys, I'll talk to you in a little bit. Hey guys, I was getting ready to start busting this car apart. Freaking light, every other light in here, and I've got 8 of them, I guess, in this side of the shop, was working. That one wasn't. None of the light, none of the bulbs, it wouldn't flicker, wouldn't do anything. I was like, man, it's got to be a ballast. So I ended up having to run to the store, pick up a ballast, change all that out, rewire the ballast. But now it's working. So, but yeah, it was right under. Basically, that's the light that's right above the car that I'm working on. All the rest of them were working this dark spot right here, right where I was working. So couldn't let that fly. I had to go fix that real quick. Well, not real quick, but anyway, got it done. So that's what I've been doing for, who knows, a little while. And so now I'm going to push that car back up here and get to ripping that quarter panel off. So I got most of it cut loose. I'm using these catch shears, and then of course my little air saw to kind of get it. And if you remember my previous videos, this is done the same way as the other side. They built up a piece of metal over the top of the original. This is the original. Looks like they did a real nice Bondo job here, though. That's pretty nice. You know, just right over the rust. That's really what you want to do, because Bondo seals rust. And no, I'm just kidding. It doesn't. Yeah, that's pretty crappy. But we already knew that, so that's why we're replacing it. Anyway, kind of wanted to show you that. Like I said, if some of you guys hadn't watched some of my older videos on, I guess they tried to flare this out for bigger tires. They also hacked this part off. It's actually supposed to come back here quite a bit more, so I'll have to extend that. Same as last time. So yeah, I have to work 2 panels instead of just 1 to try to get that off there. But yeah, I got most of it loose and cut all down through here and up through here, missing all the brackets and everything. And again, you don't want to cut through that one there. You can see that inside there. You don't want to cut that. Anyway, yeah, I'll keep working it. I'll get it back off. I'll get it off, and then we'll look and see what kind of goodies we have inside there. Hey guys, see ya. Oh look, big hole in it. Finally got it off. It was quite a mess. But we got it. So I was a little disappointed. There's not a lot of treasures in here. Washer. What's left of a razor blade. Another washer. Rusted bolt. I was kind of hoping for a diamond ring, or I don't know, pot of gold, something. Hell, I don't. That looks like a little pattern for like the trunk cover piece. Probably a little plaid cover at one point. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Chunk of Bondo. lots of sand and dirt. We knew that was going to be in there. So really, it's not all that exciting in there. The good news for the owner of this car is this panel looks savable, just like the other side. Just a little cleanup, little primer, and be back to good. Now you can see here where it just completely rusted through. And then maybe you can see the thickness of that. I bet that's close to 1/4 inch thick. But hey, they were blending panels, so you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah, all this looks good. And yeah, you can see in here I'm gonna have to replace this outer panel, which I kind of figured I would. It's rusted through. The last so the other side worked out real good the way I did it, so I'll probably do exactly the same thing on this side. Let's see what we got down in here. Not much. Not much. And there's that panel. There's that you know, the piece that I put back in there that has to have the soundproofing stuff that cures in like 10 seconds. Not 10 minutes like I originally thought, or 60 minutes or whatever it was. So yeah, it attaches right here, and then it has to be welded down there as well, which that's a pain because you have to come through this hole, reach down there with your welder, and this panel here, that's part of your quarter panel. It also has spot welds all through here, so you have to reach down in there, try to look down through the top up here and weld, and it's a pain in the butt for sure, but it's doable because we did it on the other side. But yeah, there it is. Another puzzle piece missing. So now I've got tons and tons of spot welds to grind out. Most of you know on the stuff like this, I don't use spot weld cutters because you go through so many stinking cutters trying to. Now I will up there because I'll have to reuse that piece, but yeah, the rest of it, we're throwing this panel away, so it won't matter. So, yep, that's about it. So, there you go. A little progress. So, I'll start ripping all this stuff off and get this all cleaned up, and then we'll get her prepped for prime to do the inside like I did the other side. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Hey George, I'm assuming that's your name. This is what I was talking about yesterday. You're talking about doing full quarters, but you didn't really want to get into that leaded seam. You just cut a little bit below it, and that's not a straight line because I don't plan on doing that. I plan on actually getting up here in the seam, but it would be a lot easier to stitch weld this back in. You know, the panel just cut a little bit below. And you know, when you weld it, it's going to shrink in just a little bit, so it's going to leave you a low spot across there, and then you just fiberglass that in. I've seen other guys do it, seen James Freddy do it. There's quite a few people who have done that, not wanting to actually do this here and messing with all this that comes with that. So just a thought, just an idea. Anybody else out there want to chime in on that? If you think that's a bad idea, good idea, you know, whatever. But also, if you're running underneath here like this, well, actually, on your car, your panel's down here. I forgot about that. Or your seam is actually down here lower. But I bet you can still go underneath it. But I could be wrong. I wasn't even thinking about that because it seems like on that Mustang, it's actually let it down lower. So anyway, it's a thought. If you can get underneath that and see, you can get, if your Mustang's like ours, like this, you're still able to get to the inside of that to coat the back side of that weld to where, you know, you're not getting any type of rust coming through there. But anyway, just a thought, just an idea, kick it around. Yep, that's I'm gonna use all metal on this one. This stuff here. Shut Your Face Garage told me that's what he used on his stuff, and most of his stuff that I've seen is just pretty amazing. So I'm gonna go that route and see how we do. But yeah, originally I had planned on fiberglass in this whole deal, and then they talked about, you know, the sheet metal itself is going to expand differently than this, and then other guys said no, it's bull crap. Then I've actually had guys say take a piece of metal and put it in here and actually weld it up here, and then just run your fiberglass, just a, you know, small bit of fiberglass instead of having to fill this whole gap, you know. And that's another idea. I guess there's multiple ways to do it, but anyway, other ideas. You gotta kind of figure out what you want to do and go with that. So only wrong way I would know is just a Bondo that I had a guy say, oh, you just Bondo. No, Bondo is like a sponge. It's porous, so you're looking at you know, getting water going right down to the metal and then starting to rust from underneath and breaking your Bondo loose, and so yeah, that's not a good idea. But short strand fiberglass is waterproof, so, and this all metal is supposed to be waterproof, so that's the route I'm gonna go, and we'll see how she goes. So, all right, guys, that was just kind of a quick shout out to George, because he was talking about you know, doing full quarters possibly, and so not really wanting to mess with that lead seam. So, all right, I want to show something to you. This is that outer wheel well, and this is the Bondo that whoever they, you know, put it on there, and I'm kind of laughing about it, thinking, you know, that's a lot. I always was told that the max you ever want to go on the thickness of filler is a 1/4 inch. Well, this is a little perspective for you. That right there is a 1/4 inch. To me, that seems like a lot. Give you an idea, 1/4 inch is about the same size as a pencil. So kind of give you a little perspective there. For me, I don't think I'd ever want to go that thick. 1/8 inch, they say, is pretty acceptable. That's what, 125 thousandths. So we're looking at right about there, and so you're looking at closer to that right there as 125 thousandths. And then a 1/16 is 62 thousandths. So ultimately, I'm not even sure I have anything that would be comparable to a 1/16 of an inch. But yeah, 1/16 obviously would be really tiny. Maybe right in there would be like a 1/16 of an inch. So kind of give you an idea of the thickness that should look like from a side view on your metal versus down here, which, like I said, that would be a 1/4 inch thickness. And like I said, kind of give you an idea. And then up here might be closer to your 1/16 or whatever. So you're just doing a skim coat basically. But yeah, for years I always heard that 1/4 inch is probably the max you'd want to go. Well, really here, that's about what they did, which, like I said, that just seems like ridiculous amount of Bondo to me, or filler. Not necessarily Bondo, but it's you know, filler. Anyway, thought I'd kind of throw that little deal out there. That, you know, that's kind of a cross view of it. I always see it flat on the car like this, so it's hard to tell what that looks like. But being able to see it cut across like that kind of gives you a better idea, and hopefully that picks up on. Like I said, that seems like a lot, and you can see the difference in the metal right there where it changes, and transitions into the filler. So yeah, that's a 1/4 inch. So that's quite a bit, and they say that's acceptable, which, like I said, you know, maybe standards have changed and that's not that acceptable anymore, but you know, up here would be a little more acceptable, I guess, for your filler. Anyway, yeah, if anybody cares, that's a cross view of the filler. And so, all right, I guess I'll quit getting ADD here and running off with this stuff here and try to get back on this and get this thing cut all completely off. So talk to you guys later. Hey guys, remember that little tab on the other side? I ended up cutting this out to get to the spot welds and all that. Well, Shut Your Face Garage said that these are not welded in there very good, so you can just take some kind of vice grips or pullers or whatever and basically rip that out, and it looks like that's going to be the case, but I just kind of wanted to show how I'm doing this. That way somebody else wants to do it, they'll kind of have an idea. Anyway, so this is not the way he said he did it, it's the way I'm doing it. That's it. That was pretty weenie for sure. I'm gonna say there was probably a weld here, maybe one right there. Looks like it just barely grabs a hold of that. So yeah, I got that out. Here's the question for me, Matt. How, without cutting this out, do I re-weld this new panel underneath here, or what do you do? What do you use? Do you use panel bond adhesive stuff, or I mean, because I don't know how to access to get back in there to do that. It seems like it would rattle if you didn't at least tack it back down. So I don't know. If you watch the video though, give me an idea on this, because I like the fact that I didn't have to cut this out like I did the other one. But like I said, now I don't know how I'm gonna spot weld it back. So yeah, give me a holler if you get a chance. Thanks. See ya. Boom. Not much left. Cut her back to the drip rail. I like to leave that on for a reference point. Also measured from the inside of this to the inside of the other new drip rail that I put on. That way I'd have a measurement. Got this out. You can see here. Pretty easy with that bad boy right there. I'm telling you, if you don't use those, that little guy right there makes quick work, no sparks. I mean, just rips stuff right on off. I'd go through a couple of blades, but man, like I said, those are pennies. So yeah, that's what's left of it. Now I gotta cut the spot welds out. The insides of, you can see all these. I'll have to, all through here, I'll have to cut those off on the other side. And then of course these, and then this little panel here, I'll have to, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know how many, but there's several, you can see them there. And again, I'll just take a grinder wheel and grind those off and then pull that out of there. Grind this down smooth, and then wire wheel all this little light surface rust off. And do the same thing I did earlier, and prime that all up, and I'll probably weld through primer this since I'm going to be welding directly to that surface. I'll have to knock all this off with a grinder, but yep, a whole lot faster when you know what you're doing. First one was trial and error, trying to figure out how to do it right. Now that I figured out how it works, yeah, this one's gonna go, I'm not gonna say smoother, but it's gonna go faster. I can guarantee you that. Yeah, I mean, up to this point, it taken me probably several days to get to where I just gotten. Well, it's 3:30 right now, so it probably took me an hour and a half or so to get that to that point. So Not too bad. I don't know, maybe 2 hours, maybe less, I don't know. But anyway, that's about it. So the rest of it's just grinding the little stuff off and cleaning it up and getting it ready to prep for primer. So if I have any more great epiphanies or anything that I think you guys would be interested in, I'll turn the camera back on. But other than that, I'll probably bring you back when I get this all cleaned up and ready prep for primer. And then of course when I bring you back for the primer, I'll get this all sealed up here on my left, and we'll shoot this again and see how the fish eyes do. See if maybe that's my culprit there. So alright guys, I'll talk to you later.
Hey guys,
see
I
ya.
think I'm gonna leave it at that for today. I got quite a bit done, or I feel like I did, so I'm gonna call it a day. It's almost 4 o'clock. I've been out here most of the day, so yep, there it is. There's that panel all fitted up, pretty. Anyway, there you go. So here's my other panel. All excited, it's all excited to be put on. And then the fun begins, body work. Getting this bad boy straight, getting all the dents out of it, getting them doors straightened up. You see all the highs and lows everywhere, getting all that out, getting it close. And yeah. So we're making progress, that's good. Well, you guys have a good day, good evening, and I'll talk to you next time. See ya.